Welcome to our lab Configure VPN and Routing. Let's jump into our PLAB-DM device. So in this lab, we're going to configure Windows Virtual Private Network VPN using Microsoft Routing and Remote Access Service RRAS. Let's open up an instance of PowerShell to prepare a second NIC device to receive communications from the outside. So that Ethernet device is set. You don't get a confirmation here. Now we're configuring our new connection to use our preferred DNS. All set. Similarly, we don't get a confirmation on this one either. Let's minimize PowerShell. Task 2, grant VPN dial-in permission. For this task, we're going to need to jump into our domain controller. And we're inside of PLAB DC 01. Let's go to ADUC. Let's go to Users. Go down to Administrator, right mouse click, and select Properties. Go into the Dial-In tab. Under Network Access Permission, let's click Allow Access and click OK. Task 3, install Remote Access Service. Let's jump back into PLAB-DM01, our domain member, and let's maximize PowerShell. And the steps that we're doing right now is installing Microsoft VPN service. Remote access is successfully installed. Let's maximize Server Manager here. Let's go to Tools and select Remote Access Management. Let's click on Direct Access and VPN. And let's run the setup wizard. We're going to select Deploy VPN only. The Routing and Remote Access snap and opens. Let's right mouse click on PLAB-DM01 and select Configure and Enable Routing and Remote Access. Next. We'll leave the default selected here, remote access, dial-up or VPN. Next. We'll select VPN here. Next. On the VPN connection, let's make sure VPN 2 is selected, and we're going to clear enable security and click next. On the IP assignment page, we're going to select from a specified range. Next. Let's put our range in by clicking new. We've put in our addresses here. Let's go ahead and click OK. Next. And we're going to select no to use routing and remote access to authenticate connection request. Next. And finish. And we'll go ahead and acknowledge these message here. All set. So we're going to enable VPN ports on PLAB DM01 for incoming dial-in access. We are in PLAB DM01 right now, and we're inside of the routing and remote access snap-in. So PLAB DM01 is expanded. Let's go down to ports. Right mouse click on it and select properties. Let's select WAN mini port PPTP. Click on configure. We're going to uncheck demand dial-in routing connections. All we need is routing access connections inbound only. And we will add our IP address. And click OK. Next. Let's select WAN mini port L2TP, configure, and do the same thing. Uncheck demand dial-in and add our IP address. Click OK. Let's click OK. And let's select PLAB DM01 here and go into its properties. Let's select the IPv4 tab. Let's go to the adapter drop-down list and make sure Ethernet 2 is selected. Click OK. So on this task, we're going to install some certificates. We are back in our domain controller, PLAB DC. Let's open up PowerShell. Perfect. So Active Directory Certificate Services is now installed. Let's now install Certificate Authority. To accept all changes, I'll type in A and enter. Perfect. Go ahead and close PowerShell. On Server Manager, let's go to Tools, then Certificate Authority. In order to verify if the certificate authority is working, all we have to do is expand the node, and it is. So we'll go ahead and close out of this. Let's jump back into our PLAB DM box in order to install our certificate. Let's open up a snap-in. Click on File, Add Remove Snap-in. You see in the available snap-ins we have certificates. Let's go ahead and add that one. And we're going to select Computer Account. Local computer is fine for what we're doing. Click OK. Finish. Click OK. Let's open up the console. And right mouse click on Personal, All Task, and Request New Certificate. Click Next. Check Computer. Click on Enroll. And finish. We could go ahead and close the certificates console. Let's go ahead and request our certificate. We're going to jump into our Windows 8 box. Click on Start. Type MMC. And we're going to do the same thing. Add the certificates snap-in. File. Add Remove Snap-in. Select Certificates. Add. Computer. Next. Local computer. And finish. And OK. Let's open up this tree. Personal, right mouse click, task, request certificate, next, next, check computer, and enroll. And finish. We're still in our Windows 8 box. We're going to create a VPN connection. Let's right mouse click on the network tab, open up Network and Sharing Center. Click on Set up a new connection. Select Workplace and click Next. Select Use My Internet Connection VPN. And we've entered our IP address and destination name. We don't want it to remember our credentials, and let's click Create. Let's right mouse click on Practice Labs VPN connection. Go down to Properties. Click on the Security tab. Let's select on Allow these protocols. Click on the Networking tab. Let's select TCP/IP4 and click Properties. Then Advanced. Let's clear User Default Gateway on Remote Network and click OK. And OK. And OK. Now let's right mouse click and connect. We're going to select Practice Labs VPN connection from the flyout menu and click Connect. We've entered our credentials. We'll click OK. And we are now connected. Let's right mouse click and select status, and it indeed shows that we are connected. If we click on details, it shows information about this VPN connection. Let's close out of this and close out of this. Right mouse click and select disconnect. So we're back in our PLAB-DM box, looking at the routing and remote access snap-in. Let's select PLAB-DM01, right mouse click, go to properties. We're going to enable L2TP on the VPN. Click on the security tab and let's select allow custom IPsec policy for L2TP / IKE v2 connection. We've entered our pre-share key and we'll go ahead and click OK. This indicates that we must restart routing and remote access. We'll go ahead and click OK to that. And in order to restart this service, we right mouse click, go to all task and select restart. All set. Let's test the functionality on the L2TP connection. We're back on our Windows 8 box. Let's right mouse click on PLAB Practice Labs VPN connection and go to properties. Then select security. The security type, we'll go ahead and change it to layer 2 tunneling protocol with IPsec. Then we'll click on advanced settings. Select use pre-share authentication, put our key in and click OK. For authentication, we're going to click on use extensible authentication protocol EAP and click OK. Let's right mouse click on the VPN connection and connect and click connect. Enter our credentials and click OK. So the network flyout menu indicates that we are connected to our VPN. Let's right mouse click on the VPN connection and go to status. Indeed, it shows connected, and if we click on details, it shows the details on the VPN connection. Let's go ahead and click close and close. Right mouse click, select the VPN connection, click disconnect. So we're back in the routing and remote access snap-in. Let's select PLAB-DM01, right mouse click and select disable routing and remote access. Confirmation screen, let's say yes. All right, let's jump into Server Manager. Let's expand this. And let's click on the Ethernet 2 enabled. Right mouse click on Ethernet 2 and go down to Properties. Select TCP/IP4 and click on Properties. And let's change the IP address here. And and let's click OK. Let's enable the IP routing by using the registry. So on the address bar, let's type reg edit. Opens up our registry. And so we just navigated to HKey local machine system, current control set, services, TCP IP, and parameters. Let's select IP enable router, right mouse click and select modify. We're going to change the value here to 1 and click on OK. Back in File Explorer, we'll change the command to shutdown, restart, time 0. So we're logged back into PlabDM. Let's open PowerShell and do IP config all. And as you can see here for IP routing, it shows yes, that it's enabled. Let's jump into our Windows 8 box. Go back into networking and internet. Let's click on the hyperlink for Ethernet. Then click on its properties. Scroll down to IPv4 and go to properties. Click on advanced. Default gateway, we're going to add another one, and that's going to be 192. And click OK. So right now we have 2 routers configured on the Windows 8 box. Let's click OK again. And OK. And close out of this. Let's open up the command prompt. And let's ping our IP address. Let's jump back over to PlabDM. And let's go back into Server Manager. Let's click on Tools, then go to Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. Let's click on the inbound rules and select File and Printer Sharing Echo ICMP4 in. Right mouse click. Looks like it's enabled already, so we're good on that. Let's jump back into our Plab Win 8 bucks. And let's try pinging that address again. All right, good to go. Let's jump back into PlabDM to configure routing using Microsoft RRAS. Let's X out of the firewall. Let's go ahead and open routing and remote access. Let's maximize this. Let's select PlabDM local. Right mouse click and select configure and enable routing and remote access. Next. Custom configuration, next. Select LAN routing, next. And finish. Let's click OK. And start service. And finish. Let's jump back into our Win 8 box and ping our device once more. Perfect. Let's go back to our PLAB-DM device. Right mouse click on PLAB-DM01 and select Disable Routing and Remote Access. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching our video. So in this exercise, we're going to configure network address translation. So let's right mouse click on PLAB-DM and select Configure and Enable. Next. We'll select NAT, which is the second selection here. Next. Let's go back. And make sure that we've selected Ethernet 2. Next. And finish. There it is.